Hello everyone. Today I will go over the history of one of America's most controversial railroads, Norfolk Southern. Our story begins in South Carolina in 1830 with the South Carolina and Canal Railroad Company. This would later become part of the Southern Railway. Around 1870 is when the Norfolk and Western Railroad Company was formed from tiny railroads in Virginia. The N&W would become a major part later in the creation of Norfolk Southern. Now we're in 1894 when the Southern Railway was formed under J.P. Morgan with headquarters in Washington, D.C. In the 1920s to 1940s, the Southern Railway was expanding south to New Orleans and Atlanta, while the N&W was thriving off of coal in the Appalachian Mountains. In 1941, the iconic Norfolk and Western J class was built in the Roanoke shops to be put on the Powhatan Arrow train from Norfolk, Virginia to Cincinnati, Ohio. During the 1950s to the early 1960s was when American railroads began using diesel locomotives instead of steam, as diesel was more reliable and cheaper. This meant the Norfolk and Western and the Southern both started using locomotives like the F&E units and GP9. In 1959, the Norfolk and Western acquired the Virginian Railroad, therefore eliminating competition for the Norfolk and Western's coal trains. In 1960, Norfolk and Western was the last railroad to retire steam locomotives in the United States. This meant locomotives like the N&W Y6B class would be retired. The 1970s were a very difficult time for railroads in the eastern U.S. due to the mega mergers such as the Penn Central disaster that came from the merger of the Pennsylvania Railroad and the New York Central. This put a lot of pressure on other railroads like the N&W and the Southern. In 1980, CSX Transportation was formed from the Seaboard System and the Chessie System railroads. This left the Norfolk and Western and the Southern Railway under pressure from the newly formed CSX. So in 1982, the Southern Railway and the Norfolk and Western merged to create Norfolk Southern. In 1996 to 1999, Norfolk Southern and CSX both take half of Conrail. This leaves Norfolk Southern with a bigger Northeast branch and some of Conrail's locomotives, such as the SD-80 Mac and the C-40-8W. This brings us to the current day. In the past few years, Norfolk Southern has gotten in a lot of controversy that I won't get into too much, but I am mainly talking about PSR and the East Palestine train derailment in 2022. In 2025, Union Pacific has talked about annexing Norfolk Southern in the near future, possibly 2027. The chances of this happening are slim to none as of now. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I would appreciate it if you could like and subscribe, as it helps me a lot. Thank you and bye.